Every night before you drift off to sleep, you are given one of the most powerful opportunities to reprogram your mind, renew your spirit, and realign your frequency with abundance. Most people waste this sacred time by worrying, complaining, or scrolling endlessly through distractions. But you, if you're ready to walk in wealth, overflow, and divine favor, must treat these final moments of the day like a portal to power. Because what you do before sleep sets the tone for what you receive when you wake up. Your subconscious mind never sleeps. While your body rests, your inner world continues to create. Thoughts, beliefs, emotions. All of them keep moving, shaping, attracting, building. So the question is, what are you feeding your subconscious before bed? Doubt, fear, stress, or vision, gratitude, and faith? If you want to wake up rich, not just in money, but in opportunity, clarity, energy, and purpose, you must feed your soul something rich before you sleep. Every night before sleep, your conscious mind begins to fade into rest, but your subconscious mind becomes fully open, receptive, and powerful. This is not a moment to be wasted. This is your golden window. The time when what you feed your inner world begins to shape your outer world. Most people go to bed thinking about what went wrong, what they lack, or what they fear. But those who understand the spiritual laws of abundance use this sacred time as a moment of divine partnership. They know the subconscious mind is not bound by time, logic, or limitation. It is the creative engine of your reality. When you understand that your subconscious works while you sleep, you'll begin to honor your nights as much as your days. Whatever you consistently focus on before bed becomes the instruction manual for your subconscious. If you go to bed frustrated, broke, tired, or hopeless, your inner mind assumes that is the reality it must reinforce and recreate. But if you instead go to sleep with thoughts of abundance, gratitude, peace, and prosperity, you begin to instruct your inner being to magnetize those experiences back to you. The subconscious does not argue. It accepts. It multiplies. It obeys the spirit of what you dwell on with emotion. So the feelings you carry into sleep are not silent. They are spiritual commands that go to work overnight. Imagine lying in bed, eyes closed, breathing deeply. You let go of the noise of the day and begin to fill your mind with an image you, living in your ideal home, walking through a space that is yours, fully paid for. You feel the joy in your chest, the smile on your face, the certainty in your bones. You don't doubt it. You don't need to know how or when. You just know it is done. And as you visualize, your emotions rise. You feel grateful, blessed, excited. That feeling is the energy that feeds your subconscious. That feeling becomes your frequency. That frequency becomes your result. Some people wonder why their hard work doesn't pay off, why they work long hours but still feel stuck. It's because your outer action can only take you as far as your inner alignment. Your subconscious beliefs determine whether you sabotage or support your own success. The reason doing this every night works is because the subconscious does not rest. While your body sleeps, your spirit is still active, your inner world is still alive, and this is the blueprint for everything you experience in the physical. It organizes ideas, opens creative pathways, brings opportunities, and attracts resources. It is your divine engine of manifestation, and sleep is when it listens most intently. The mind is like a garden. Every night, you can plant seeds, seeds of wealth, seeds of peace, seeds of favor. What you plant consistently, you will harvest. But if you're planting weeds, fear, worry, anger, don't be surprised when you wake up and see chaos. The good news is, you can choose your seeds. You can take charge. You can decide that each night is not a place of fear, but a place of faith. You can end each day by aligning yourself with truth, abundance, and divine purpose. That's how you wake up rich. This isn't about superstition. This is about alignment. This is spiritual law. What you do in the unseen will always show up in the seen. So each night, choose to see what you desire. Speak what you believe. Feel what you are becoming. Do this with reverence, not as a ritual but as a relationship. You're not just talking to yourself. You are communing with the part of you that is directly connected to infinite intelligence. There are people who struggle for years simply because they never reset their energy. They wake up in the same anxiety they fell asleep with. They go to work in the same fog they carried into bed. But you can be different. You can choose to break that pattern. You can choose to train your mind to end each day in expectation, not exhaustion. You can end each night in victory, not worry. And if you commit to giving your subconscious clear, confident instructions, you will begin to see change. Subtle at first, then sudden. You will begin to attract ideas, people, and opportunities that match the frequency you've been sending out. Because you are not hoping for wishes. You are aligning with them. You are speaking to the part of you that already knows how to succeed. You are tapping into divine wisdom that never sleeps. And when you do that, you do not just rest, you rise. You don't just close your eyes, you open your spirit. You don't just sleep, you build. So do this every night, and soon, you'll wake up to a life richer than you ever imagined. Visualization is not just imagination, it is creation in motion. Every night before sleep, when your conscious defenses begin to lower and your subconscious becomes more receptive, visualization becomes a spiritual technology, a tool to realign your frequency with the life you desire. Wealth is not something you chase, it is something you align with. And visualization is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. When you vividly and emotionally see yourself already living in wealth, your mind begins to treat it not as a fantasy, but as a reality waiting to be experienced. This is not about wishful thinking. This is about engaging the divine principle that energy flows where attention goes. Close your eyes and imagine the version of you that is already walking in financial freedom. See the life you would be living, the home you're in, the peace you feel when you look at your bank balance, the joy in your chest when you know everything is paid for. Feel the emotions of that moment: gratitude, pride, security, joy. These are not empty feelings, they are spiritual signals. They speak a language the universe understands. When you repeatedly feel the emotions of your desired outcome, your subconscious begins to adopt that state as normal. And when it becomes normal within, it must become real without. Your mind doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's vividly imagined with emotion. So if you're constantly seeing yourself as broke, stuck, or struggling, your subconscious will accept it and recreate it. But if you instead see yourself as abundant, capable, and worthy of overflow, your inner world shifts. And when your inner world shifts, your outer world has no choice but to follow. Visualization is not about lying to yourself. It's about revealing to yourself the truth that already exists in potential form. Every successful person has mastered the art of seeing it before they hold it. This is spiritual law in action. Nighttime is the most powerful moment for visualization. Why? Because your mind is moving from beta waves, logic and alertness, into alpha and theta waves, creativity, intuition, and openness. These brainwave states are where transformation happens. In this space, the walls between conscious and subconscious fall away, and your visualization becomes more than a picture. It becomes a command. And the more emotion you pour into that picture, the more powerful the command becomes. When you feel it, you send a signal to your nervous system. You awaken the creative parts of your brain. You activate the magnetism of your spirit. You become a vessel that attracts wealth, not by force but by frequency. There's no need to figure out how it will happen. Visualization is not about control. It's about trust. It's about aligning with the version of you that already exists in the unseen. Because if you can see it in your mind and feel it in your heart, it's already on its way. The job of the universe is to deliver what you believe. Your job is to believe so deeply, so clearly, so consistently, that doubt becomes a stranger to your process. This is why nightly visualization is not just helpful, it's essential. It resets your focus. It clears the debris of the day. It reminds your spirit who you truly are: a creator, not a beggar, a magnet, not a chaser, a receiver, not a struggler. Every night, your imagination becomes your sanctuary. Turn off the noise of the world. Step into that sacred space. Visualize without limits. Don't just imagine money. Imagine what money allows you to be. Free, generous, impactful. Don't just visualize cars or houses. Visualize the confidence and peace that comes from knowing you are fully provided for. Make the vision so rich, so detailed, so joyful, that your subconscious mind has no choice but to believe it. And once it believes it, it begins to call it forth. This is how wealthy people think. Not from their bank account, but from their belief system. They understand that everything begins as an inner image. and they protect that image with intention. They don't wait until they have it to feel wealthy. They feel wealthy until they have it. That's the secret. That's the shift. And you can make that shift every night before sleep. You don't need tools or money to start. You only need your imagination and your willingness to believe. If you do this consistently, you'll begin to notice changes. Ideas will come to you. Connections will be made. Your energy will feel different. The world will respond to your vibration, not your struggle, because wealth is not attracted to desperation. It's attracted to alignment, and visualization is the path to that alignment. So tonight, close your eyes and see your dream. Feel it, live it, rest in it, and know that what you see clearly, you will hold surely. This is the path to waking up rich, one vision at a time. Words are not just sounds. Words are energy. Words are power. The words you speak, especially before sleep, are planting seeds in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. These words either work for you or against you. When you understand the creative force of your own voice, you stop speaking carelessly. You stop ending your days in frustration, lack, or defeat. Instead, you begin to speak faith, abundance, and increase into your life. Nighttime is not the moment to repeat everything that went wrong. It is the moment to declare everything that is going right, even before you see it. This is how faith speaks. It calls things that are not as though they already are. When you speak affirmations like, "I am wealthy," "Money flows to me with ease," or "I am aligned with unlimited abundance," you are not just saying empty phrases. You are issuing commands. You are instructing your subconscious to shift your beliefs, expectations, and behaviors. The more you repeat these words with conviction and emotion, the deeper they root in your inner world. Eventually, what you once had to speak by faith becomes a natural part of who you are. You stop trying to become wealthy. You begin to believe you already are. And once belief is formed, manifestation follows. The subconscious mind does not argue. It does not ask if what you're saying is true or false. It simply accepts it as fact. That's why repetition is so powerful. Most people unconsciously repeat negative affirmations every day without realizing it. I can't afford that. I'll never get ahead. Money is hard to come by. And then they wonder why their life reflects those beliefs. But you can reverse that pattern. You can create new neural pathways, new expectations, and a new financial reality just by speaking differently. This is the law of sowing and reaping. You sow words, you reap experience. When you do this every night before sleep, it becomes more than a habit. It becomes a lifestyle. Speaking wealth declarations before bed saturates your subconscious during the most impressionable time. You are not just falling asleep. You are stepping into agreement with a higher version of yourself. You are rewriting the story of your life in real time. And the more emotion you put into your words, the faster the change begins. Emotion is the fuel of manifestation. A flat affirmation has limited power. But when your words are soaked in belief, gratitude, and expectancy, they move mountains. This practice also calms the nervous system and quiets the anxiety that often surfaces at night. Instead of ruminating on bills, stress, or scarcity, you begin to train your mind to settle into peace and certainty. You replace fear with faith. You replace worry with worship. And as your nervous system relaxes, your sleep becomes deeper, more restorative, and spiritually aligned. This is how you create from a place of rest instead of struggle. You speak in alignment with your desires, and then allow the universe to respond in its perfect timing and perfect way. Speaking these affirmations doesn't mean you ignore reality. It means you choose to align with a higher truth than what you can currently see. You are not denying your situation. You are declaring your transformation. You are choosing to believe that what you speak has power, and that power shapes your experience. Every successful person has mastered this. They speak with intention. They guard their language. They understand that their words are bridges between the invisible and the visible. And this is available to you right now. You don't need permission. You don't need a certain income level to begin. All you need is a decision. To use your voice as a tool for wealth, not worry. Tonight, before you sleep, speak on purpose. Say out loud what you desire. Say it with boldness. Say it with feeling. Say it as if it's already true. I am attracting wealth even while I sleep. I am a magnet for divine opportunities and overflow. I am living in complete financial freedom. Keep saying it. Let it become your new truth. In the beginning, your mind may resist. You might feel silly or doubtful. That's okay. Keep going. Repetition breaks resistance. Repetition breaks old programs. Repetition creates new realities. And one night, you will speak these affirmations and feel a shift. You will know they are no longer just words. They have become part of your identity. That's when manifestation becomes natural. That's when waking up rich is no longer a dream, it's your new reality. And it all started with your voice. So speak, declare, command, and let your words create the wealth you were always meant to receive. Gratitude is the highest frequency you can embody, and when you end your day in gratitude, you position yourself to receive more of what you're thankful for. Gratitude is more than being polite or having good manners. It is a magnetic spiritual force that draws blessings toward you. When you cultivate a heart of thankfulness before you sleep, you train your subconscious mind to focus on abundance rather than lack. You are programming your inner world to recognize increase, to expect goodness, and to align with prosperity in all its forms. Gratitude multiplies what you already have and prepares space for more to come. Each night before sleep, take a moment to reflect, not on what went wrong, but on what went right. Even if the day wasn't perfect, there is always something to appreciate. Maybe it was a kind word, a roof over your head, a meal you enjoyed, or even just the gift of another day of life. Gratitude doesn't have to be for something huge. In fact, the power lies in recognizing the small miracles, the quiet provisions, and the subtle guidance that show up every single day. When you start to appreciate what you already have, you activate a spiritual law that begins to deliver more for you to be thankful for. This is not just about saying thank you out loud. It's about feeling the gratitude deep in your spirit. The emotional energy behind your appreciation is what makes the difference. When you truly feel it, your heart opens, your energy softens, your mind stops racing, your entire being shifts into a state of receptivity. Gratitude takes you out of fight or flight mode and puts you into faith and flow. And that's the perfect state to enter sleep, a state of peace, alignment, and expectancy. When you go to bed in gratitude, your dreams become aligned with abundance. Your subconscious, which processes everything while you sleep, begins to search for patterns, opportunities, and solutions that match your dominant emotion. If your dominant emotion is frustration or worry, you wake up drained and anxious. But if your dominant emotion is appreciation, you wake up renewed and full of life. Your mornings begin to change. You'll notice more beauty, more joy, more synchronicities. You'll start attracting ideas, people, and moments that match your inner gratitude. This is not a coincidence. It's energetic alignment. Some people lie in bed at night going over everything they lack. They think about the money they don't have, the problems they haven't solved, or the things that went wrong. They don't realize they're attracting more of the same into their life. But when you lie in bed and say, thank you for what you have, for what is coming, and even for the unseen blessings on the way, you change the signal you're sending out. You stop repelling wealth and start welcoming it. The universe responds to your vibration, not your words alone. Gratitude raises your vibration faster than almost anything else. You can even take it a step further and start being grateful for things that haven't happened yet. This is called prophetic gratitude. It's when you say thank you in advance for the wealth, the opportunities, the freedom, and the overflow you know are coming. When you thank the divine for what you haven't seen yet, you're showing faith. And faith is rewarded. Say, thank you for the financial breakthrough that's already on its way. Thank you for the money I can't see yet but is finding its way to me. Thank you for making me a blessing to others. When you speak like this before sleep, you not only set your mind for increase, you set your spirit into divine partnership with abundance. Gratitude before sleep also helps you release what you can't control. Instead of tossing and turning over worries, you surrender them. You hand over the burden and allow peace to enter. You acknowledge that even if things aren't perfect, you are being guided, supported, and provided for. This surrender, wrapped in gratitude, invites miracles. It opens the door to unexpected favor. It tells your soul, I trust, I believe, I receive. That kind of spiritual posture is irresistible to the energy of wealth and abundance. Make it a habit every night to speak or write at least 5 things you're grateful for. Feel each one. Let them sink in, and then say thank you for what's coming. Do this every night and watch your entire reality begin to shift. You'll find yourself living in a state of abundance long before the physical evidence appears. Because gratitude doesn't just change your mood. It changes your manifestation. It moves you from scarcity to sufficiency, from fear to faith, from survival to overflow. Gratitude is the doorway. Use it every night and you'll wake up rich. Not just in money, but in spirit, in joy, and in limitless possibility. Sleep is more than just a biological necessity. It is a sacred window of transformation. While your body rests, your spirit renews, your energy resets, and your subconscious comes alive. Most people treat sleep as merely a way to escape fatigue, unaware of the powerful spiritual strategy that lies within it. If you approach sleep intentionally, you can harness it as one of the most effective tools for wealth creation and personal elevation. Each night offers an opportunity to recalibrate your internal frequency, so that when you awaken, you are aligned with divine timing, inspired ideas, and the flow of abundance. When you treat sleep as a spiritual practice rather than just physical rest, everything begins to shift. Before you close your eyes, you can make a decision to enter sleep with intention, to prepare your heart, your thoughts, and your energy for increase. You can choose to release stress, to let go of worry, and to embrace faith. This moment of surrender is not weakness, it is power. Because when you surrender consciously, you are not giving up, you are giving over. You are allowing divine intelligence to take what you have done, multiply it, and return it to you in miraculous ways. Night is a powerful time because your conscious mind becomes quiet, and your subconscious becomes dominant. That means whatever thoughts or emotions you focus on right before sleep sink in deeply and begin to shape your belief habits and behaviors. This is why it is dangerous to fall asleep in fear, in doubt, or in scarcity thinking. Those energies do not remain neutral, they gain traction while you sleep. But if you choose to end your day in peace, with faith-filled affirmations, visions of wealth, and emotions of gratitude, you set your inner world on a path to attract miracles. You begin to wake up with unexpected clarity, confidence, and direction. When you sleep with spiritual intention, you give your spirit room to commune with divine wisdom. You allow answers to come to you, not through effort, but through surrender. How many breakthroughs have been missed simply because people slept with stress instead of strategy? If you use your nighttime as a space of spiritual alignment, you stop grinding and start flowing. You begin to create from rest, not resistance. Ideas, solutions, and divine connections begin to show up with ease because your inner atmosphere is clear. You are no longer operating from fear-based hustle. You are moving from faith-based purpose. There is a reason why many inventors, creators, and successful individuals say they woke up with the idea. It's not coincidence. Sleep opens a portal between your conscious desires and divine possibilities. But you must enter that sleep with intention. You must set the tone before your eyes close. Speak wealth into your life. Visualize your goals as complete. Feel the joy of financial freedom. Declare that you are aligned with abundance, that opportunities are chasing you, and that provision is being released while you rest. You are not doing nothing in sleep. You are trusting everything to work for you. Even your physiology supports this. Studies have shown that deep, peaceful sleep enhances creativity, focus, and decision-making. When you allow your body to rest in calm rather than cortisol, you don't just feel better, you perform better. Your energy becomes magnetic. You make better choices. You see doors where others see walls. This is not just science. It's spiritual law in motion. Rest is the secret weapon of the wise. It is the sacred pause that creates momentum. It is the divine gift that allows your spirit to do what your stress never could. Bring wealth, joy, and freedom into your life naturally. Every night before sleep, remind yourself that you are not alone in this journey. There is a higher power working with you and for you. You are connected to divine intelligence that knows no limits. You are supported by unseen forces that respond to your faith, not your fear. So lay down your anxiety. Lay down your striving. Lay down your need to figure it all out. And instead, pick up peace. Pick up trust. Pick up expectancy. These are the tools of the spiritually wealthy. These are the weapons of those who rise and shine. Let sleep be your sanctuary. Let your bed be the altar where you surrender your burdens and embrace your blessings. Let your dreams become the canvas where wealth, joy, and vision are painted vividly. Speak increase before you sleep. See overflow before you sleep. Feel freedom before you sleep. Because when you treat sleep as a spiritual strategy, you do more than rest. You rise. And when you rise ready. Ready for answers. Ready for favor. Ready for the wealth that is drawn to the one who dreams with intention and wakes up aligned with divine abundance. Repetition is the silent architect of transformation. It is the invisible force shaping your beliefs, your behaviors, and eventually, your reality. What you do every night before sleep doesn't just affect your dreams. It programs your identity. It reinforces who you believe you are and what you believe you deserve. When you choose to repeat empowering rituals of wealth consciousness each night, you are not just wishing for riches. You are becoming someone who expects them. You are sculpting a mindset that welcomes prosperity instead of resisting it. This is how true wealth is created. Not by luck, but by consistent alignment. Doing something once can spark a change, but doing something daily creates a permanent shift. Repetition builds neural pathways. The more you repeat a thought, an affirmation, or a feeling, the more natural it becomes. Eventually, you don't have to force it. It flows. The declarations you once struggled to believe become your new internal truth. The vision that felt like a fantasy becomes a normal part of your imagination. And the identity you used to reach for becomes the identity you live in. Nighttime is the perfect moment to build this repetition because your mind is quiet, your body is still, and your spirit is open. Every time you declare, I am wealthy, I receive abundance, money comes to me easily and frequently, before sleep, you are chiseling away at the old, limited version of yourself. You are replacing fear with faith, lack with overflow, and self-doubt with divine confidence. You may not see the changes immediately, but repetition doesn't need instant results to be effective. Like water shaping rock, it is gentle, steady, and undeniable. You don't need to fight for your breakthrough. You just need to become faithful in your routine. The power is not in doing it perfectly, the power is in doing it persistently. This is why so many people start with hope but end in frustration. They try something once or twice and expect the mountain to move. But mountains respond to faith, and faith is developed through consistency. If you truly want to change your life, you must be willing to repeat the behavior of the wealthy even before the wealth shows up. The wealthy expect increase. They anticipate solutions. They trust in flow. And they build habits that support those beliefs. Repetition is how you train your nervous system to feel safe with success. It's how you move from desperation to divine expectation. When you repeat abundance rituals every night, gratitude, affirmation, visualization, you are anchoring yourself in a new frequency. And over time, that frequency begins to affect how you think, how you act, how you speak, and what you attract. You become less reactive and more responsive. You stop chasing and start choosing. You recognize opportunities faster, and you dismiss distractions with ease. All of this comes not from motivation, but from mastery. And mastery is the reward of repetition. There is nothing magical about saying something once. The magic is in saying it until it becomes your new normal. Think about a song you hear over and over. Eventually, you memorize it without trying. The melody sticks. The words roll off your tongue. The same thing happens with the affirmations and declarations you repeat before bed. At first, you might say, I am rich, and feel nothing. But after a week, it starts to feel possible. After a month, it feels familiar. And after a while, it feels true. Your subconscious doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's imagined. It only knows what's repeated. So when you repeat wealth language, wealth thinking, and wealth emotion, your inner world starts adjusting to make space for outer wealth. It is not enough to believe once. You must believe repeatedly. And every night, you get a new chance to believe again. You get a new opportunity to say, I am aligned with abundance, even if your bank account hasn't caught up yet. You get a chance to say, money flows to me, even if the evidence hasn't arrived. Because the moment you repeat that belief long enough, the evidence will follow. It has to. That's how the law works. You don't manifest what you want. You manifest what you consistently affirm, feel, and expect. Repetition also silences the inner critic, that voice of doubt, fear, and old programming loses its grip when you overwhelm it with truth night after night. You don't need to fight your old beliefs. You just need to outnumber them. And every declaration of abundance, every feeling of gratitude, every vision of wealth you replay before sleep is a vote for your future self. The self that lives in overflow. The self that is generous, free, and powerful. The self that doesn't wish for riches but walks in them daily. Make no mistake, repetition is spiritual warfare. It is how you defeat the lies of scarcity. It is how you override the programming of poverty. And it is how you walk boldly into a life of abundance. So tonight, and every night, repeat what you want to become. Say it until you feel it. Feel it until you believe it. Believe it until you live it. This is the path to waking up rich, not just in your bank account, but in your mindset, your spirit, and your entire reality.